Have you ever woken up and felt like your life is on autopilot, busy, exhausted, but somehow off course? Like you're moving, but not moving forward? You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're simply standing at a crossroads most people never have the courage to face. Here's the truth. Feeling lost isn't a weakness, it's a signal. A signal that the life you're living no longer matches the life you're meant to lead. And that moment right there, that's not the end of your story. That's the beginning of your breakthrough. In America, we're taught to grind, to push, to succeed at all costs, but no one teaches us what to do when success feels empty, when passion fades, when the old map no longer works. And yet, history proves this over and over again. The greatest transformations don't happen when life is comfortable, they happen when everything feels uncertain. Right now. You don't need all the answers. You don't need a perfect plan. What you need is clarity, certainty, and the courage to take the next step, because the path reveals itself only after you decide to move. If you've ever felt stuck, confused, or disconnected from your purpose, this is your wake-up call. Your past does not define you. Your current confusion does not limit you. And the life you want is closer than you think if you're willing to listen, decide, and take action. This is where you stop wandering and start creating the path you were born to walk. Let me ask you something, and don't answer it out loud, answer it in your heart. When was the last time you felt alive? Not productive, not busy, not surviving, but alive. Because here's what happens to so many people. We don't fall apart all at once. We fade slowly, quietly. We keep showing up, paying bills, scrolling screens, smiling for others, while inside something is screaming, this isn't it. And that scream, that's not fear trying to stop you. That's truth trying to wake you up. You see, feeling lost doesn't mean you have no direction. It means the direction you've been following no longer belongs to you. Somewhere along the way, you started living by expectations instead of intention. You chased approval instead of alignment. You followed a path that worked for someone else and wondered why it never fulfilled you. Here's the breakthrough most people never realize. You don't find your path by thinking harder. You find it by deciding differently. Clarity doesn't come from sitting still and hoping life explains itself. Clarity comes from movement, from action, from asking better questions. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? Ask, what is this moment trying to teach me? Instead of saying, I don't know my purpose, say what gives me energy instead of draining it. Because purpose isn't some mystical destination waiting to be discovered. It's a muscle you build by listening to what lights you up and honoring it with action. Let me be clear. You don't need confidence to move forward. You need commitment. Confidence comes after you keep the promises you make to yourself. And right now, the most important promise you can make is this: I will not abandon myself anymore. Think about it. How many times have you ignored your instincts? How many times did you settle because it was safe? How many times did you silence that inner voice because other people wouldn't understand? That's not weakness, that's conditioning. But today, that ends. Because the moment you feel lost is the moment your old identity is breaking down and something stronger is trying to emerge. Growth feels like confusion before it feels like freedom. Transformation feels like discomfort before it feels like power. Here's a truth that might shake you. You don't need to know where you'll end up. You only need to know what you're no longer willing to tolerate. When you decide what you won't accept anymore, relationships that drain you, work that kills your spirit, habits that numb your potential, you automatically start moving towards something better. And yes, the fear will still be there. But fear doesn't mean stop. Fear means expand. Every meaningful chapter of your life will demand a version of you that doesn't exist yet. That's why it feels hard. That's why it feels uncertain. But uncertainty is not your enemy, it's the gateway to reinvention. Let me remind you of something powerful. You have survived every version of yourself so far. The confused one, the broken one, the tired one, the lost one, and you're still here. That means there is a strength inside you that you haven't even fully tapped into yet. So here's your learning point, your anchor. Feeling lost is not a dead end. It's a reset point. You don't need a full plan, just a clear next step. Your emotions are guidance, not obstacles. The path appears when you choose courage over comfort. Start small. But start now. Change one habit. Have one honest conversation. Take one step towards something that scares and excites you at the same time. That's how paths are created, one brave decision at a time. And remember this, because this might be the most important thing you hear today. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not lost forever. You are standing at the edge of a breakthrough. The question isn't, will life show me the way? The real question is, will you trust yourself enough to take the first step? Because the moment you do, the path won't just appear. You'll become the person who creates it. Now lean in, because this is where everything changes. There comes a moment in every life when the noise fades and you're left alone with one undeniable truth. You can't keep living this way. Not because you're weak, but because you're ready. Ready for more truth, more meaning, more life. Most people mistake that moment for a breakdown, but it's not. It's a breakthrough in disguise. When you feel lost, what's really happening is that your soul is outgrowing the life you've been living. The old goals don't excite you anymore. The old victories don't satisfy you. The old version of you is asking to be released. And that can feel terrifying because letting go of who you were means stepping into who you don't fully understand yet. But listen to me closely. That unfamiliar future is not a threat, it's an invitation. An invitation to stop shrinking. An invitation to stop explaining yourself. An invitation to finally live in alignment with who you are becoming, not who you've been pretending to be. Here's what no one tells you. The pain of staying the same will eventually become greater than the pain of change. And the moment you feel lost is the moment that balance shifts. That's when comfort turns into a cage. That's when security starts to suffocate you. That's when your heart whispers, there has to be more than this. And there is more, but it requires courage most people never choose. Courage to sit with the discomfort instead of escaping it. Courage to face yourself without distractions. Courage to say, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm done running. Because the truth is, you don't lose yourself overnight. You lose yourself one ignored feeling at a time. One delayed dream at a time. One maybe later at a time. And finding yourself again doesn't happen through motivation alone. It happens through ownership. Ownership of your choices. Ownership of your time. Ownership of your future. Right now. You may feel disconnected, uncertain, even scared. But what if this isn't confusion? What if it's clarification? What if life is stripping away everything that no longer fits so you can finally see what remains? Here's the emotional truth. You don't want an easier life. You want a meaningful one. And meaning is built when you choose growth over approval. When you honor your values instead of chasing validation. When you decide that your life will no longer be dictated by fear, doubt, or the expectations of others. So let me ground you in this moment. Take a breath. Feel it, the frustration, the longing, the restlessness. That's not something to fix. That's something to listen to. Because inside that feeling is your next direction. The lost feeling doesn't mean you're off track. It means you're being redirected. Every great transformation begins with a season of uncertainty. Every powerful leader, creator, and change maker stood exactly where you are now, questioning, doubting, searching. The difference, they didn't numb the feeling, they answered it. So answer yours. Answer it by choosing one bold truth today. Answer it by taking one uncomfortable step forward. Answer it by believing just enough that your future self is already proud of you for not giving up. Because one day, you'll look back at this moment, not as the time you were lost, but as the moment you finally woke up. This is where your old story ends. This is where your real life begins. And you don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You just need the courage to say, I choose to find my way no matter how long it takes. That decision alone changes everything. You're not lost, you're being called higher. Trust the discomfort. It's guiding you. One decision can change your direction. One step can create the path. Choose courage over comfort. Your journey begins now.